Real quickly before I get started with the video, I just want to say that this is an opinionated video, and if the sheer thought of someone giving a different opinion from yours makes you physically angry to the point where you have to leave hateful comments on a video over it, then I advise you to just leave now. When I do these types of discussions, which I rarely do, I want everyone's feedback as much as possible. I don't want comments saying, "Wow kid, you're stupid." Just leave a solid comment down below informing me of your opinion and politely debate with other people, because that's how, as a community, we can determine what it really is that needs to be done with the game itself. Anyway guys, with that out of the way, let's talk about today's video, which really, to be completely honest with you, I'm quite shocked. I never thought that Epic would go after such an important game mechanic like turbo building. If you guys aren't up to date with what's going on currently, Epic added a nerf to the turbo building feature, which pretty much made the ability to do 90s impossible, which means that if something in the game breaks, people take it to Twitter in the worst way possible. And honestly, I'm not even going to show you guys screenshots of what's being said on Twitter because most of it is pretty nasty. Short story short though, pros are angry, I'm shocked, and I'm sure you guys have your emotions too. When I first saw this, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't even gonna hop on Fortnite at all today, but I decided that I would try to play this game to the best of my abilities. In the first two games I played, I actually won, which is why I'm making this video today. I think so many people are so distraught over this whole change to turbo build, but I also think that it's rightfully so that people should be upset. It's a major change to a setting that Epic gave us to make the game better, and now they're taking it out. I think the reason this is not sitting with fans well so far is because it's a setting and a core mechanic being changed. It's not like the mech suit, which could easily be nerfed or vaulted and even combated against in game. This is a setting that really makes the game feel different and does minimize the skill gap when it comes to building. Players can't do 90s, and sometimes putting up walls to protect yourself means that you're inevitably going to have a wall that doesn't place, which leaves you wide open. Competitive players aren't able to tunnel as well in the end circles, and because of this, it's really just been chaos on Fortnite today. But through all of the chaos, I think I see what Epic is trying to do with their game, and we're going to be going over exactly why adding a nerf to turbo build was a good idea, but also why adding a nerf to turbo build was a game-breaking decision and a bad one at that by Epic Games. Starting off with the pro side of the debate, let's talk about why this could be a good decision if done right. Adding a nerf to turbo build instantly means more gunplay involved. Sometimes I think Fortnite lacks a good amount of gunplay, and there's times when my enemies just non-stop build, which can definitely get quite annoying. I'm sure you guys can relate to this, but trying to get into another player's box with over 20 ping, it just isn't possible. And sometimes it takes minutes for your enemy to even think about making a play on you, which is why giving players the ability to finish their enemies is a really good idea, of course. It almost forces players to make plays on their enemies instead of just boxing up doing absolutely nothing for a very long time. It's very annoying that you have to exploit and essentially do something the game itself cannot defend in order to get your opponent to make a play on you. With this being said, when I played the game today, I felt as though I had to be a little bit more tactical and smart as far as what plays I made. Build fights are essentially out of the picture with turbo build being removed, so instead of trying to build fight, I've limited my use of materials, and I've been beating players off of moving with cover, but not trying to build up too high. I've been far more aggressive when it comes to shooting my opponent's structures, and it's definitely helped me out. So maybe Epic is trying to make their game a little slower so that tactical play is a factor that's involved. I know a lot of people believe this change was due in part to them catering the game to noobs, and this isn't entirely ruled out because they did add the mech suit in the game, which was extremely overpowered and catered to noobs, and now they added this nerf to turbo builds, so definitely something fishy going on there. But in my personal opinion, I just think they're trying to change the dynamic of the game a little bit, not cater the game to noobs entirely. And now for the part of the video that I'm going to be talking about, trying my very best, of course, not to rant in, but let's talk about why this was a horrible decision by Epic Games. Since the beginning of Season X, we've had the dumbest things implemented into the game, the junk rift and the mech just for starters. And coming off of Season 9, which, disregarding the futuristic theme and the changes to Tilted Towers, was arguably one of the most solid seasons we've had to date. And it's pretty sad, honestly, to see where this game is going. Epic has officially tied a rope and anchor to Fortnite and is just watching it sink. Fortnite, as a search term both on Google as well as on YouTube, alone has been at its lowest point since the start of Season X, and this game is barely playable at this point. Why Epic thought that in the middle of hosting cash prize tournaments it would be a good idea to make a change to a core mechanic like building is beyond me, and from a competitive perspective, I'm livid. Myself, as well as hundreds of thousands of people, have always said that public matches in arena mode need separate loot pools with separate maps designed specifically for competitive. From a pub player's perspective, It's important to have items such as the mech suit and junk rift in the game, of course, without them being overpowered, because public matches are meant to be fun. But at this point, playing public matches aren't fun anymore. Playing competitive isn't fun anymore. When you take away rotations in competitive and now the ability to cover yourself legitimately from the players who win actual prize money and just enjoy playing the game in general, you have a dying game. And that's what Fortnite is right now. A dying game. I hate to be negative, guys, but it's just the truth. Look at the stats and look at how everyone's taking these updates. They're taking them so poorly because these are poorly made updates, and Epic is slowly killing their game. Nerfing turbo build and making any sort of changes to the core foundation and the reason that your game got popular in the first place is just plain stupid. It's a stupid decision, and at this point I have lost all faith in Epic as developers. I don't disagree with the nerf to turbo build entirely because I think as players we can definitely adjust to this, but it's getting old, man. It really is getting old at this point. I used to be excited for new seasons and updates, but now when things are going really good in Fortnite and I see a new update about to be released, I honestly cringe, man. I really do, because I don't know what's gonna break and what isn't. If the mech suit was the worst part about Season X, I would have said fine. After this season, all they need to do is make some changes, add some interesting things into the game, and we would all have been very happy. The problem is they'll take the mech suit out, buff turbo building, and make it the way it was before, but next month they'll add something crazy into the game that's broken and overpowered, or they'll take away the ability to do things, or they'll add zones where you can't build, and suddenly the game is just unplayable and not the game that we all love. I know this update wasn't what we were hoping for today. I really was hoping for a really cool update to enjoy and get some fresh new content out to you guys, but unfortunately that's not how this went down today at all. Drop a comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are as far as this whole nerf to turbo building goes, as well as your honest thoughts on Season X. In my opinion, this is probably one of the worst seasons we've ever had as Fortnite fans. Anyway, guys, subscribe if you guys are new around here, and let's all hope and pray for Fortnite, man. And I'll catch you guys next video. Peace out.